Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're popping the hood on a massive, yet honestly almost completely hidden problem in enterprise technology, and that's infrastructure reporting. If you've ever felt like your operations team is just drowning in a sea of data, but completely starved for actual intelligence, spending Friday nights staring at endless spreadsheets, then you are definitely in the right place. We're going to trace this entire journey from a raw idea to a fully AI-native, production-ready workflow.
All right, let's just dive right into it. Large tech operations teams are constantly bombarded with metrics. We're talking CPU spikes, memory alerts, storage warnings. It literally never ends. And because they're drowning in all this disconnected data, they're forced to just react to problems after they've already blown up, instead of proactively spotting the true operational risks before they hit the business. They constantly have to ask themselves, which applications are actually healthy right now? And more importantly, which anomalies are real and which are just meaningless noise?
So this is where a crucial business evolution has to happen. We absolutely must move away from the dark ages of manual monthly spreadsheet crunching. You know the drill, spending weeks running one-off scripts, copying and pasting data, and just praying there isn't some mapping error that leads to a disastrous capacity decision. Instead, we're shifting entirely to a system of continuous capacity intelligence with strict governance. It's really about replacing a fragile, high-risk chore with a reliable, automated engine that actually drives the business forward.
Section 1, the hidden capacity problem.
To tackle this massive data silo issue, where essential metrics are trapped in entirely disjointed systems, I built a system that actively ingests 5 distinct categories of operational data. We're pulling together CPU and memory utilization, file system capacity, database storage, and crucially, business KPIs right from the application teams themselves. By funneling all of this through one secured REST payload, we instantly eliminate the nightmare of asking 5 different teams for 5 different data extracts.
But look, just getting the data in, that's barely step 1. This workflow perfectly maps those raw signals into a repeatable intelligence lifecycle. We move smoothly from data ingestion straight into normalization, then over to analytics, and finally to a governed output. This matters so much because our analytics aren't just floating data points anymore. They are anchored in actual business context. It tells you exactly which server supports which application and how that impacts the overall load on the business.
Moving on to Section 2, building an intelligence platform.
To actually make this workflow a reality, the architecture had to be incredibly practical and cleanly separated. Let's trace the data flow here. We start at the entry point with a dedicated FastAPI ingestion service, validating everything in literally 0 milliseconds. State and time series data are then robustly stored in PostgreSQL within 10 milliseconds. Then, the central FastAPI backend handles all those complex background jobs at around 20 milliseconds. And finally, the insights actively surface in the React UI in just 15 milliseconds. Keeping these responsibilities clean means we get a lightning-fast, highly maintainable platform.
Section 3, explaining anomalies and forecasts. Let's talk about the real brains of this operation. Because honestly, telling a capacity planner that an anomaly happened is completely useless if they don't know why it happened. We call this explainability. It's knowing exactly why a point was flagged, how severe it is, and whether it represents a genuine warning. By using adaptive baseline filters and multi-layer checks, the system actually filters out the low-value noise. Like, a jump from 2% to 5% CPU might look huge on a graph, but operationally, it's absolutely nothing. Adding this context completely saves teams from massive alert fatigue.
What's really fascinating here is how we explicitly match the machine learning or statistical model to the very specific behavior of the metric. We aren't just using some lazy one-size-fits-all black box. For raw infrastructure, we're using robust z-scores and LSTM modeling. For those complex business KPIs, we use a multi-layer ensemble to catch weekday patterns. The highly volatile metrics get neural profit, while slow-drifting database storage relies on a solid linear regression. It's just a beautifully tailored approach that guarantees both accuracy and, most importantly, explainability.
Section 4, automating the reporting workflow.
Because let's face it, just building fancy analytics screens is simply not enough. We had to actually automate that high-risk monthly reporting process. The system does the heavy lifting up front with AI draft generation, automatically drafting initial observations and charts. But here's the kicker. We intentionally keep a human review panel in an edit phase right in the middle of the workflow. The AI gives you a massive head start, sure, but your domain experts still control the final message before any publication happens. It's the perfect balance of automation and human oversight. The biggest takeaway here is our resilience philosophy, which we call the fallback principle. Using a language model to write executive summaries is pure magic, but we all know external APIs love to go down at the worst possible times, right? So the platform is engineered so that if the AI is ever unavailable, it seamlessly falls back to producing reports using deterministic templates. Your monthly reporting absolutely never becomes critically dependent on an external AI call. And that right there is how you build true enterprise-grade reliability.
Section 5, AI-assisted engineering process.
Truthfully, the coolest part for me wasn't even just the finished platform. It was how AI fundamentally accelerated how I actually engineered the whole thing. By treating every single feature as a mini product cycle, I was able to move incredibly fast. Instead of writing out vague tasks for a feature request, I used parallel AI coding agents to slice up the backend and frontend work simultaneously. Then, automated browser verification via Playwright made sure the UI behaved perfectly, feeding any issues right back into a bug fix loop. It's wild because it proves how one engineer using AI native development practices can literally execute the work of an entire team.
As we wrap up, I really want this core product philosophy to stick with you. A dashboard shows data. This system creates a workflow. We aren't just throwing visualized numbers up on a screen and hoping for the best. We are building a trusted, proactive operational workflow that takes messy, everyday reality and turns it into governed, actionable intelligence.
I'll leave you with a bit of a provocative question to chew on for your own operations. Is your infrastructure team still spending all their valuable time just reporting on the past, or are they actually proactively forecasting the future? I really hope this explainer helps you rethink how you approach operational data and inspires you to go out and build smarter, AI-assisted enterprise workflows. Thanks so much for exploring this with me.